What's up? What up, brother?
So with it, bro?
Still chilling, man. Chilling. Appreciate you getting on.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Time to have this
Hear my
conversation for sure. You said what?
Can you hear my background? Is it loud?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, brother. Yeah. It's time to have this convo. We've been talking about this for a minute.
Yeah, we have. We definitely have.
Yeah. Definitely been talking about this for a minute, man. I think this will actually help like the parents, other AAU coaches, high school coaches. Definitely need to have this
Right.
talk for real.
And
So, because I think it's just too much like pettiness. It's getting away from about the kids. Um, that's just my perspective on this. What up, Hoop? What up, Hoop Junkie?
it's good.
Man, she can't get in or something?
Girl. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Let me see. Waiting on the other two to pop in before we get started. What's your Hey, I've been seeing a lot of your players act up.
Hey,
Act up.
hey,
I, I've
hey.
been seeing
All
it. I've
played
been
minutes.
seeing
They all played major minutes. So hey,
I seen a couple players. Hey, you
hey,
know me. I'm so hyped
hey.
up.
And I was gonna call you about that too. And you know, it was a couple DNPs on some other stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I got you, MJ. Hold on.
Talk to him, Ashley.
Listen, most underrated program in the city.
Talk to him.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not here to start nothing. I'm just here to speak facts.
Oh man. The facts, hey, the true truth come out. You know, we had a slow start, but look how we ended though.
Yeah, yeah, you right. I just know that them Drive Nation alumni is acting up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is Ashley
Y'all can say what?
getting on? Is Ashley getting on or nah?
No. It's just us four,
Oh, okay.
unless somebody needs to get off or
So,
something. But she gonna be in the comments though.
yeah, no doubt, man.
She said, "Why you ain't came to Kansas?"
Where were you at? Just recently filming. Yeah,
Me? Uh
you just was that a
oh
showcase or something?
no, that was just a regular game. Lancaster
Oh,
versus John Tyler.
gotcha. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Send me your request, MJ, because it ain't letting me invite her. Don't do that. Don't do that. I specifically asked specific coaches, and when everybody get on, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I asked these specific coaches. Uh, Send a request, uh, MJ. I'm still waiting on. Marcus said give him like 4 minutes, 5 minutes while ago. So,
Got it.
but yeah,
Gotcha, boy.
yeah,
Were you anywhere this weekend?
yeah. I'm in Austin right now.
Oh, we gonna be there. Yeah, we
Uh,
there.
you there?
Yeah, we play St. Michael's Prep.
Oh, just for a regular game?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's gonna be our first game.
okay. Yeah, I'm in Austin for the beautiful
Oh, yeah.
class. It's up.
Where is
When
it?
you get
Yeah, I'm
what's
gonna
up,
have to
KP?
probably
What you got?
got a question.
What you got? Let me see. Where did she go? Sean was good. Sean gonna have a good year this year.
how did how did
They
she
gonna
do?
come on.
Did they play already?
She had 12 and I want to say like 3, 4 rebounds, something like that.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I'm gonna be there for sure. I'm pulling up to the winter series. Uh, Hold on, Coach Mark. All right, there you go. Got Coach Mark is. Let me see, MJ. Bullet. There she go. All right, let me see the invite. Let's see. Let's see if we can get everybody in here now. Let's see. Come on now. What we doing? Y'all ain't accepting the invite, people? Or send a request in, Coach Marcus and MJ. 'Cause it seems like my invite ain't working. Send a request in. Oh, there you go.
Here I come. Here I
All
come.
right,
Here I
there
come.
we go.
What's
There we
up?
go.
What's up? What's up?
All right, MJ, where you at?
What's up, bro?
What
What's
up
up with you,
now?
brother?
Oh, man. How
Y'all
y'all
doing
doing, man?
good?
Yeah, man. See, make this happen real quick. Phone set up. Hey, how you doing, Brody?
Man,
Man,
I'm doing
good.
good, man.
Well,
What
I'm
you
doing
both
good.
ends. My bad. My
Oh,
bad. Both
look,
ends. Both ends.
it's
Hey,
the everything, man.
it's
It's
an
the
everything
everything.
right now. So I ain't on everything, man. Good to
yeah.
see y'all both, though.
Look,
Good to see
I
y'all,
see
bro.
you with the first line. Look,
Hey, fresh
listen,
out the
listen.
barbershop. You know what I mean? I'm losing this thing, man. Hey, thanks to KP, BB,
Look,
I'm losing
listen.
this.
Got it.
You know what I
Got it.
mean? So,
There
but
we go.
we getting ready for we're at the beautiful classic tomorrow. Well, actually this weekend in Austin.
Yep, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be
Are you
there.
coming? You coming to Austin?
Come on,
Come
man. I'm already here. Stop that,
on.
man. What
Stop
up?
that.
What up,
Yeah.
coach?
Hey, hey.
How you doing?
Yeah. All right, so we can kind of gotta go introduce everybody. The reason why I picked y'all specific three is just because I feel like y'all in three different lanes. Ed, you AAU director, you know what I'm saying, strictly AAU director. AAU basketball. Coach Marcus, you have had some AAU experience, but you kind of mostly with the high school scene. And then MJ, of course, you high school and AAU at the same time. So I think all y'all got like a different perspective on this topic, being able to communicate, educate the parents, educate other coaches in this process. I think y'all do a very good job, of helping the kids out get to the next level. So y'all can kind of introduce yourself if y'all want to. Ed, you can go first.
And I'm Ed Daniels, Lady Drive Nation, EYBL.
MJ,
Coach MJ, Pro Skills, EYBL, and Lake Highlands High School girls basketball coach.
and last but not
Uh,
least,
Marcus Willis Senior, head coach of like Vega girls basketball.
got you. So the biggest thing, the biggest topic around basketball. It's a hot topic right now. High school coaches, AAU coaches can't really get along just because of the player pooling. Like high school coaches don't like when AAU coaches are having tryouts at the beginning of the season, or right before the preseason of high school season, or during the playoffs when they're having tryouts. But on the flip side, AAU coaches don't like um, when AAU high school coaches are pulling from the AAU programs during June when they're trying to prepare for July. So I just want to get y'all take on that reason of why it's always a bitterness or bickerness around that area. Somebody can go first. It don't matter. Whoever want to grab it.
Nobody's grabbing
I mean,
it.
What? That means, hey, you spoke first. Go grab it.
um. Oh,
I
I
think
mean, me personally.
I'll,
Yeah, go ahead,
Go
coach.
ahead.
Yeah,
I'll
you say it
start.
Yeah.
first.
I'll say something. I think June, and I'm coming from Indiana, where it's a little bit different than it is down here in Texas. But in June in Indiana, it was all about high school, and that was also 10 years ago. And now with all of the tournaments and stuff that AAU has to offer. I think June is more of that's when we got to communicate and talk. But also now with the TABC showcase that they have the second week in June, I mean, that's a huge exposure weekend for high school players to play with their high school teams. So there has to be some type of communication between the AAU coach and the high school coach to share those athletes. And I don't know the perfect answer, but I think there needs to be some sort of willingness on both ends to allow that to happen.
When you say willingness, what does that willingness look like? Because yes, TABC is a big exposure platform, but I think at the same when I'm looking at the AAU mindset of it, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Um, you're preparing for the Super Bowl basically for AAU.
Yeah.
Like that's the hottest month in AAU. So when you
Yeah,
say,
I would
go ahead.
say it depends. Like again, got a relationship with Marcus, or even with KP. If I had kids at both schools, like she said, that communication level would have to kind of enhance instead of indirectly, talking or bashing the AAU practice or whatever it is. When again, July is our state championship or state playoffs. February, we are producing workouts, non-contact workouts. If I have no connection to KP or Marcus, they're not going to understand. I don't telling the kid I don't want you there. When we just again we want them to show up. Again, we know how to manage the best players when it comes to non-contact, knowing that they're getting ready for state playoffs or whatever it is. We're
Mm-hmm.
not going to jeopardize them performing in the state playoffs or championship because we need them in the spring, just a few weeks later. So we're not going to
Right.
jeopardize. And I think the disconnect between both coaches, there's the bitterness or tension, if you will, not bitterness,
Mm-hmm.
but tension. And Marcus, you can chime in on that. KP, either or.
Well, I think, both of you have valid points, and like Ed and I personally actually got a chance to deal with this within the last couple of years, and we never had any problem because we managed each other. He coached three of my kids in the last 2 years with KP, Mimi, and Angela. So we didn't miss practices. You know what I mean, at all. But I mean, I was a dad as well too in the situation, also being a coach, but. We got along as far as being able to. He knew exactly when I needed the kids. Of course, June was a big for us at TABC, but I mean, I'm a person that also knows how big July is as well. So I understand, what the AAU scene is coming from. So I understand how important for those kids to make it to most of those things, within reason, knowing that it's non-contact, within reason, knowing that it may be sometimes that we may not show up because, of course, we're aiming for a state championship. But I think if everybody's on the same page with just collectively with an open line of communication, I don't see it, defaulting. Once again, when it comes to tension and other agendas, I think that's when you have issues and concerns.
When you say agendas, what agendas or tension are you kind of referring to? Like, give me an example of not something that you've been through, but just give me a hypothetical.
It's
Um,
kind of hard for me to speak on that hypothetically because I mean, well, I can tell you the real deal situation because, like I said, as Ed and then of course Coach here as well too, we've all been on the AAU scene. So I've been that AAU coach that high school coaches didn't necessarily like or didn't appreciate at to a certain point attempt because, of course, they're thinking we're stepping on their toes.
mhm.
Now being on the high school side, I don't have that issue because I'm a coach that personally invite AAU basketball. I want to be able to have a funneling program that funnels kids into our program that we know that this playing year round. So I'm that coach on that side that agrees a lot with AAU. Um, and I know for a fact when I was on the AAU scene, it was high school coaches that not necessarily felt that to be the case.
Mhm.
So I also know it's a struggle point when you have some of those coaches that stuck in those ways that really don't like to funnel into the AAU or just think that like it's always a step in the toes. It's an ego issue, and
Mhm.
when it boils down to it,
Why do you think, and anybody can answer this, why do you think there is an ego, um, I guess, point or objective when the ultimate goal is to get the kid to the next level? So I look at it like this. What if your high school program is terrible and you're not really giving your kid the best option or best look at getting to the next level, but the AAU program can. You as a high school coach are hindering the kid's opportunity when you say, oh, you can't go to this or you can't go to that, when you really don't even have a chance of helping that kid out, or you're not even working for your kids at the high school level.
He said anybody can answer.
yeah.
Okay.
I,
Go
to
ahead. Go
me, I
ahead.
think it matters is is it a live period? Is it not a live period? What type of tournament is it? Where the location, the timing? I have a couple incoming freshmen that were playing in tournaments in the fall, on top of our fall stuff that we were doing. And so, and I didn't not let them do it. I let them do it, but at the same time, they were dog tired when it came to Monday morning because they played 10 games all weekend. And so, I mean, I'm a coach that if you want to play, you go do it, but just make sure you're taking care of business when you are with me in my program.
Got you. So you saying you not stopping? So you basically you saying you not stopping them from going to play their with their AAU team as long as they can focus back when they come.
Fall
Yeah,
is playing in the
fall.
fall.
You said fall.
I'm
Fall,
sorry.
like coach, you said you had someone playing in the fall.
Fall,
Yes, the fall.
Yeah, that
Wait,
fall.
like
Yeah,
September,
like
like
Yeah,
September
AAU?
fall.
that's
yes. Like springtime
That's
tournaments.
that's now that's kind of tough on me.
yeah.
I'm gonna chime in on that one. And like I said, I'm not here knocking AAU. I think everybody on this live knows that I'm not. But when it comes to September, like I kind of want to be a little selfish. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting is October. October is pretty much our go, and so in September it's a lot of fall showcases that we can go to start collectively getting together and getting that chemistry as a unit. Because at the end of the day, let's just be real, high school ball and AU ball is different. So you want to get those opportunities to start collectively getting that chemistry together, and fall showcases are a great representation to do that. So I ain't too big on it. I'm like you, coach. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and say like you can't do it. That's not my job. You know what I mean? To tell you that you cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is my job to let you know that hey, I want you at these fall showcases. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to win another state championship. So I think collectively together, especially in my situation, I may not like be like you, coach, because I got kids that play volleyball. So I don't necessarily
Mm-hmm.
have my whole entire team when it comes to at the beginning of October or at the beginning of August when you guys start school. So now with me being in that situation, like I need those five showcases. I need that collectiveness together. So that's me. That's me.
Got you.
Yeah, and
You
I'm
about to say something? Oh, go ahead.
I'm I'm gonna piggyback off of Marcus.
Okay.
And when I say that, I mean like AAU and high school is totally different,
Mm-hmm.
but we both, again, together are can positively have a great impact on these kids' recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I'm better than him or he's better than me. It's just two totally different situations because again, in September, well, October, those showcases they're not coming to see Drive Nation
Mm-hmm.
in October. We don't have anything going in. For
Right.
what? This is time to again showcase whatever momentum that they have from the spring, summer,
Mm-hmm.
in October. It's time to gear up for this season. Like I'm not messing with kids, right? Like for what?
Mm-hmm.
It is solely high school time. And now if they're outside, want to get some outside work in just for maintenance purposes, cool. But I'm not finna, hey, we finna go play a tournament this weekend. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So, MJ, did you have something before I ask?
No, I agree with what they said.
Okay.
100%. Yep.
Got you. So I want to give a take on uh, AU basically kind of forcing these kids in a sense to kind of commit early, like and having tryouts, like, and I think it takes the focus off of the like it goes back taking the focus off the high school season, the high school prep. Um, because I feel like after July, you got August, you got September, October, you start to crank it up a little bit. But now you seeing a lot of AAU programs posting flyers like tryouts here, tryouts there for the older kids. I'm like, bro, they just finished a month and a half ago. So like, I want to get like that perspective from you, Ed. Like, why do you feel like y'all have to have tryouts or to get kids to commit early? And it might not be necessarily you. I just saying I see a
Yeah,
bunch of tryout plans.
for me, and I'm just using,
Yeah,
me and the program that I'm
right.
right now. I like to, me, myself, my coaches, we go out and recruit these kids at their high schools. For me, nobody's grandfathered in at all. And you, Ed, you've been with me, over the past 3 years, you know what I'm saying, seeing it top to bottom. I don't, like when KP was with me, her 17U year, she was the only kid that I brought back. I had 9 new girls that I hadn't ever coached before. Prior to that, the year before, I only brought back 2 kids. So again, I'm coaching 7 new kids because, again, like I said, we got to get better. But again, I can't get kids to commit in September and think we're going to be good in April. That don't make sense. So for me, I got to watch kids during their high school season and refine and tune up my roster the way it need to be tuned up. But again, I don't know why. Well, I can't give you a straight answer on why other programs is getting kids to commit early or anything like that, or what they're selling these kids and parents too. But again, a lot of parents are misinformed on a lot of things when it comes to this.
Got you. Anybody got anything else to add to that? Huh? All right. So when it comes to, I look at AAU more of a business than I do the high school. I think high school is more of a extracurricular activity that some programs are more focused on the sports than others. But I do think AAU is kind of ran as a business. I mean, as it should be. And then high school is an extracurricular activity. So I can see how AAU is kind of overpowering or more talked about than the high school season. So I just want to kind of get y'all perspective on that, Coach Marcus and MJ. What do you kind of give me your take on that, as far as like, do you feel like that's why AAU kind of overpowers the high school scene because it's more like money involved?
Maybe. I think it overpowers because it's more of a recruiting aspect for the
Yeah.
kids than at the high school level.
Yeah. I don't think that would be the reason. I think the AAU scene will always overpower high school. I don't think that's going to change. I just think, you got coaches like Coach MJ and myself that we don't treat this as extracurricular. We enjoy what we do. And me personally, I know Coach MJ does this as well too. She's on both sides, but I work hard for my kids. I work hard for my kids even when they're with their AAU coaches. So, like when Coach Ed, when he's building his roster and he's pushing it out on Twitter, he best believe and sure that I'm pushing it out too. I got coaches on my circle. He has coaches in this circle. Sometimes they're the same, but at the same token, I know he does not mind me pushing out their schedule when they're in the AAU scene. As far as, hey, coaches, hey, I got KP, Mimi, Angela, here. When we went to Virginia, or whenever we went to, Orlando, and when we were in Chicago. So the same thing, like I'm talking to coaches today, about our kids. So, I try to do a great job of just promoting our kids as well too. So no, I don't treat it like an extracurricular activity, I don't even treat it like a job. This is what I love to do. So we were just talking about that. Like, I don't go to work every day. Like, I have fun doing what I do because I get a chance to coach basketball every day. So I don't look at it as an extracurricular activity. I look at this as, something that I get a chance to help enlighten kids. So, one of our 4 goals every year is to get free education. So, I work just as hard, as some of these AAU coaches, for kids. So I gotta say that, you know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, to answer the question, I still think AAU will always overpower high school basketball.
Got you. So you said something about. Go ahead, Ed.
I was just gonna say, man, it's different when you have coaches like Marcus or KP that's on both sides because they understand they're actually still in tune with what's going on. When you have high school coaches that are, again, kind of resistant to come out and watch their kids when we're playing in the city, when they get back to you as a high school coach and they're doing way more on the circuit teams than you're using, and then how you're using them, that becomes an issue because again you're not coming and watching what this kid can really do. And then when they get back to you, and again, not them, again, the coaches that are not in it, and there's no disrespect to them, but It's tough. It's tough because, I just had a kid the other day, a college coach, her college coach that actually offered her, asked her why wasn't she running point guard. We're a high school team. And
Mm.
that's it. But watch them play and it's like, yo, how could she answer that? Send them to me so I can explain. Like, I don't want to bash a high school coach, but again, it's like we got to get a clear understanding on what this kid role is, because when she with our circuit team, she's doing this and she's doing well. This is how she got her scholarships. But you move her off the ball, have her sitting in the corner. And again, I can't talk about coaches' philosophies because again, I'm just there supporting the kid. I'm not there to again bash the high school team or what they're doing. But again, it has to be some sort of like baseline when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I think that's a hindrance. You said something right there, like, yeah, so that's why you see a lot of kids thrive maybe in a circuit team, but they don't necessarily thrive in their high school program. So I think that becomes a lot of tension because yes, I do think you have to adjust roles as a player depending on what system you are in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when it comes to the recruitment process, I think those dynamics kind of need to. I think that's where the high school coach and the AAU coach need to find a fine line. Not necessarily saying like, oh, you're gonna run their program, but it's kind of like, hey, this kid did well in this type of position or this type of system. Is there any way because I got these schools looking at her? Am I wrong or right, MJ or Marcus?
No, I
Jay,
think
tell me.
no, I think you're heading on the right track. I've had a lot of AAU coaches, and I've only been with Pro Skills and AAU for 1 year. So,
Okay,
and I've been coaching for 16 years. So the past 15 years, I've just been a head coach, or an assistant at the high school level, 1 year in college. But like most of the AAU coaches that I've been in contact with have asked me, what can I do for you? Like, what do you see her doing with you? And how can I make her successful in our program and then come back better for you in your program? And those two coaches said something really good earlier, that all they do it for the kids. And if you're doing whatever you're doing for the kids and for the success of the kids, I think that's what this is all about. Our jobs, whether it's AU, high school, the amount of time that all the coaches put in, as long as it's for the kids and down the right path and for the right reasons, I mean, that's what it's all about. So,
gotcha.
and that and,
And
and that,
when
that
you
communication between the
Yeah,
two is key.
yeah, yeah, right.
so
Yeah, and also the
when you say,
relationships.
oh, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
mean, the relationships is key too. Like I said, I'm like MJ. I'm just kind of like that. I don't really like. I have those type of conversations. Like, what do you need from us? How can we help? Those type of intriguing type of conversations. So it's really not that side. But like I said, the common goal is to make sure we get this kid where she needs to be. So as long as we have an open line of communication and relationships, I think all that kind of helps.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna read one of these questions. It says, and I'm guessing this is for the AAU side. Like when y'all recruit players, and they ride the bench, and the high school coaches, I guess it's like reverse of what we're saying for the high schools. And y'all don't play the kid, and there's like a ear, somebody's in the kid's ear and the parents' ear, like, why do you got them on this team? How do y'all kind of respond to those
Uh,
accusations?
yeah, for me, man, again, using you for example, man, you've been with me from the start. Just kind of covering our kids and everything. Like I said, my roster's top and bottom. So when I first got started, it was 6 out of 9 went D1. Last year with Marcus Darter a part of that, it was we had 9 out of 10. Go Division 1. This year we have what is it, 6 committed right now, and 2 trying to decide what they're going to do, and I only had 9 kids on my roster, so now we get up to again 8 out of 9 kids going Division 1 who actually came with nothing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I can't relate to, what I mean, everybody else when it comes to recruiting a kid and have him on the bench. And now if that kid is just not performing and the parents have this kid here with us just because of its EYBL or whatever it is, that's not
Hmm.
the right thing. Me personally, I'm gonna tell them, like, I will help you, go to another program or try to get you to another program that's fitting for your kid. But a lot of times the parent and the kid don't want to hear that. They think they're good
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had in the past, where I had, a couple of kids come from different programs where they just probably wasn't a good fit to their style of play, but came here and excelled. So, as far as, recruiting kids to sit on the bench, I really can't relate to it.
Mm-hmm. MJ.
I I'm the same way. The team that I was a part of this past year, we had 8 to 9, so they had to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only speak on that. If they don't, if you recruit a kid to play for your AAU team and they're sitting the bench and you're just collecting money from them, I think that's a disservice to the kid and the family.
Got you. And I guess at what point, um, when when do you say, hey, it's time to move on? After how many events, I guess, throughout the summer, do you tell a kid to move on? Hey, this ain't for you.
It'd be early for me. Like, if they make it through San Antonio, we typically have one at the end of March, and then the first week in San Antonio, get through that. After that first session, if it's still, stagnant with, between player, parent, and how we utilizing the kid, it just probably ain't gonna work. I wouldn't drag it on because the kid only has 3 more live periods. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna keep for what if it's not working for them, then I'm not gonna keep the kid.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
This is my first year. It was like the transfer portal after that first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
from what I experienced.
So talk about your experience with the AAU transfer portal. Like just kind of.
Just the coming in, I was like, okay, these are the girls we got. This is the team we have. And then our first weekend, that tournament in Mansfield, I forget what it's called, but we had a kid tear her ACL, and so we had to find somebody else. And it was pretty easy. I don't do that communication, but it was pretty easy from what I witnessed to get kids to come over and come to a workout or try out from a different team because they weren't satisfied with their position or the money situation or whatever it is, playing time with the team that they were at. And it was just for those 2 weeks of the tournaments. And so kids are quick, and parents are quick to move these kids around to put them in a spot that they want to put them in.
Mhm. Um. So what does the ideal situation, or let's just say perfect world, what does that look like as far as like AAU coach, high school coach, the kid gets to where they need to get to the next level? What does that look like?
Me?
Yeah, anybody.
Oh. Um, I think it starts with, the high school coach, for me, at Lake Highlands, I have a lot of kids that just come through the program from middle school to high school. And so they're with us throughout the summer. And then once they get to high school, they're with us. And then when we know what their goals are, then we can look at the AAU tryouts and talk to those coaches and see what's the best fit. And then I think during spring and summer, it's more of the AAU coaches' responsibility to get them to those exposure events and to communicate with those college coaches. And then after the summer, I think it's going the other way. AAU coaches get to communicate with the high school coaches about this is what they did this summer. This is who was looking at them. If you want to send the film out for these college coaches over the season, that would be beneficial. So I think it's just a two-way street, and it goes
Hmm.
both ways depending on the time of the season. And both coaches, like I said, I don't understand why there's such a animosity between us because I don't see it. I'll talk to any coach, AAU, high school, and I like to connect like that with them. So I don't know the stigma. I don't really get it, but it is
Hmm.
there, and for
Yeah.
whatever reason, and maybe the other two can kind of chime in on that, but it's there.
Got you. So I want to ask this question. So it says some high school coaches only care about what a kid can do for their program. And in a sense, I mean, would any program only care about that? I'm confused. Like, or is it
Yeah,
different
that,
in high
that
school?
wasn't. because again, it can go both ways. You can't just put that on a high school coach.
Yeah, so Coach Murphy, you want to kind of chime in on
Say
that?
it again now.
Or
You broke up
it's
on my end. What did you say?
it says some high school coaches only care what a kid can do for their program.
Mm. I can't relate to that. Because like I mean I care about my program, but I care about my kids.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like I just don't care what that kid does. You know what I mean? Like I literally like love my kids genuinely. So at the
Hmm.
end of the day, like I'm gonna do what I can to make sure that that kid is successful. I think Coach MJ said it earlier. Like I'm about the kids.
Hmm.
So, and if anybody knows me, they know that I'm
Yeah,
about the kids. So I'm not utilizing the kid to better my program. And I
right.
don't need that. You know what I mean? The program
Hmm.
that I'm in currently speaks for itself. We're blessed to have some great kids that come through there. But the tradition of La Vega girls basketball is well before me.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
don't need clout from kids to build a program. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing, winning state championships. And we're building that from the ground up from our kids.
Got you. MJ, got to take on that.
I think he's correct with what he said, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily see the work behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Whether it's AAU or high school coaches, what we're doing to help these kids out, and it's not just X's and O's, it's not just wins and losses, it's academics. It's making sure that they graduate and get where they want to be. Like I understand if kids want to, we've got 12 kids on a team, and with me, I'm not getting one or two to go to college for athletics.
Hmm.
And so for me, I'm talking more about what can you afford? Where do you want to go? That's affordable. What's your GPA like? What's your SAT like? So for us, I think it's a lot more academic in addition to athletics. But for me at Lake Highlands, my girls, I get one or two that want to go and that are able to go at the D1, D2 level
Hmm.
every so often.
Got you. Uh, it says AAU coaches telling their kids to transfer to certain schools. Um, Ed, can you kind of talk on what
Uh,
on that on that topic or?
yeah, it just for me, I've rarely had any case of that. Um, it would have to be again. You can use Micaiah for example. You know what I mean? I had nothing to
Mhm.
do with her being at DeSoto. I saw her for DFW Elite. You know what I mean? When we first got over for the 16U. Um, but I understood her situation, you know, talking to her mom, talking to her, you know, it wasn't necessary for her to stay, you
Mhm.
know, so that was already kind of, you know, their decision. All I could do was support it, but I've never had a situation personally where I'm telling the kid they need to leave that school and go to the other, because
Right.
again, um, it's just art. It comes down to the kids performing. Everything is performance based,
Hmm.
you know, with me.
Hmm.
So if you can't perform at your high school, you know, what makes you think you can compete at an EYBL level or whatever, then that's no disrespect to any other, you know, independent, you know, Adidas, whatever it is. I'm just
Right.
using that for example. This is what I'm in currently. So um or you have a situation where you have a kid that don't play varsity and their parents are, you know, complaining about minutes with their AAU team, but they get to the high school and they're not even playing varsity minutes or, you know, suiting up. But just because you're paying, you feel that you can talk a certain way or go about things a certain way, and when that ain't the case, and again I'm only speaking for, you know, the program that I'm with,
Hmm.
you know, you're not paying for minutes, you're paying for a position, you know, you
Hmm.
perform in practice to play for your minutes. And you know, again, if you're not performing, if you're not, you know, going about your process the right way, and the parents are not, you know, being honest with who their kid is and where they are at the time, then I really can't help you when it comes to that. But again, I'm not gonna, you know, push a kid from one school to another.
Got you. Um, you said something. you said your stuff, you're paying for a position, you're paying for basically it's a performance based program. I got a question for MJ and Marcus. Do you feel like high school is performance based, or like how do y'all go about that? Yes, you got to perform to, I mean, play of course, but like, is high school really performance based compared to AAU where it's 99.9% performance based, even though you are paying a fee?
I mean, you're gonna have to still perform to play for us. I don't think
Hmm.
that's no secret. I think in our situation, our job is to continue, and I hope when I say this, this is people don't take this the wrong way, but just like Ed said, Ed said in the last 2 years he has a different roster. Of
Hmm.
course, the AAU portal is ridiculous. So, and things just don't work out.
Right,
You know what I mean? So we're not trying to have an AAU portal in a high school. So we're trying to continue to feed into our kids. So, you know, it is performance based. I'm gonna put the best five out there,
right.
and that is what it is. But at the same token, we got kids that may not be in that situation, and we got to continue to build, continue to build. We got to have program builders
Hmm.
as well too, that not necessarily is going to be on an EYBL circuit, not necessarily is going to be on an Adidas circuit. You know what I mean? Even not even one of the the P24, Power 24, some of the bigger independent circuits, or whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, we're gonna have those kids that we're gonna have to continue to build to be extremely role players for our program. Because we're not, I'm not going to have EYBL kids every year. I hope so. I
Right.
mean, it was a luxury to be able to have those. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But with that being said, our job is to continue to build kids, um, to be performers for us on the court. So, but yeah, I'm going to play the best five.
Hmm.
And that is what it is. It ain't no politicking. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. We're going to play the best five. And at the same token, you also got to play. I don't like gamers, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but sometimes you have those. But I really would love for you to perform more in practice to make these games easier for us all.
Gotcha. MJ.
And I think you kind of hit on this, but I got a lot of culture kids. Just kids that want to be a part of the program that aren't going to go play in college, but that make our program better or they leave it better than they found it.
But it,
And those are the type of kids that I want to keep in my program as well.
Gotcha. It's crazy that like y'all kind of talk about that because I literally just interviewed a girl. She goes to a private school, private Christian school, whatever. But she has the frame of a basketball player and she could hoop. And I interviewed her, and she was like, I was like, "You going to hoop somewhere?" And she was like, "Nah." And I'm like, it shocked me because like you don't really get those cases a lot because of the world we live in. Like you think everybody wants to go hoop at the next level, even though they have the frame, they have the talent, and it's kind of like when you think about high school, and that's why I say it always goes back to me. Like, yes, the ultimate goal is to win, but I think at the end of the day, like it starts like a culture starts somewhere. Like you know what I'm saying. So just being able to have that different mindset, even from a media standpoint, it's just kind of like, damn, all these kids really ain't trying to go hoop at the next
yeah,
level. So it kind of like it opened my eyes as far as that, and I think a lot of coaches need to figure that out kind of early. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this something that you really want to do, or is this something like that way? I guess you know what you're dealing with when it comes to these certain type of kids. Speaking on that, what about when a kid, let's say, Ed, you EYBL, you have a kid that potentially go Division 1, um, but throughout their high school years, they ain't really get no college contacts or nothing like that. But all of a sudden, you end up getting them an offer from a Division 1, but the high school coach doesn't really want to um, want the kid to go that route or influence that kid to go that route. And a JUCO comes and the coach wants them to go JUCO to get more D1 options. What is your take on that type of experience or thought process?
Man, that is a good one. I would say it really, what I would date it back to is the kid's progression over the years. You know what I mean? If from a kid, and Marcus, again, you chime in whenever you want to. So I'm gonna use Marcus for example because again, I know him, coach his daughter, coach his other two kids. But
Hmm.
again, if he had a kid that played for him from freshman year to her junior year, going into her senior year,
Hmm.
or actually, yeah, that up until then, and she didn't get anything,
Hmm.
um, and her body language, her motor, all of that stuff goes into play.
Hmm.
So fast forward to when she do get that opportunity, um, and Marcus, like again, chime in when you want to. I highly doubt if he tells her to go JUCO to develop, because again, that's what red shirts are for. A kid can
Right.
develop at Division
Right.
One.
Hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm if she has that opportunity to go Division One, and that's her goal is to get there, why
Hmm.
tell her to go JUCO, or he or she to go JUCO
Hmm.
to get more offers? And it's like there's a Division One right here. Now get there, get on campus, again, redshirt, whatever you do, develop, and then get in a portal if you can play at that level. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Hmm.
you barely got this Division One
Mm-hmm.
as it is. Get there, get on campus, go through your whole entire process, and if you show well, then you can leave. But again, going JUCO, it's different. You know,
Hmm.
you gotta be ready for JUCO and prepared mentally, because that's a different
That's so
route.
tough. That's so tough because I'm gonna let you go, Marcus. But I
um,
think that's so tough because I'm so versed. I'm so in reverse. Like I think JUCO. I like your take because like I think that's what the red shirt is for, a development. Like get you stronger, get you used to the speed. But at the same time, I think the coach's patience is a little thinner when you go to Division One rather than you go to a JUCO. Like I think the JUCO coach has a little more patience because of the nature of JUCO. Yes, their job is to win too, but at the end of the day, they know their job is to push the kid to the next level. Um, so yeah, that's my take on that. So I'm like yes and no at the same time with that.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Go ahead.
um, I'm not a person to influence anyone to go play where anywhere.
Hmm.
I'm there to support. If they ask me, my opinion, um, I try my best to be as real as I possibly can without trying to let them like make my conversation sway them into making a decision. Because that's not what I'm here for.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, whether it is a Division One offer, whether it is a JUCO offer, I mean, you need to go where you have built that relationship with that coach and that staff. You need to know that is this the situation for me? Prime example, like my daughter. My daughter had multiple offers
Hmm.
from, Division One on down to JUCO, but never not one time that I stepped in and said, Mimi, you need to do this.
I think
Even
that's so different though.
even in KP situation though,
Hmm.
like so let's say KP,
Okay.
KP had several offers,
Right.
but not one time that I said, KP, you need to go here.
Hmm.
KP, this is your fit. No, that's not my decision. I'm not going to go play whatever where they decided to go.
Right.
I even had a kid last year, and this was talking about, I think we're talking about program builders and
Hmm.
culture kids. And I forgot that. Thanks, MJ, on how big we are on culture. I had a kid last year that didn't even know that she wanted to go play college ball. I mean, could she play? Yes, I know she can play at the. I feel like she's a potential D1 kid. Um,
Hmm.
and she wasn't sure if she wanted to go play collegiate ball. And so we always told this kid, man, never close doors that you never open. Um, at the end of the day, I said, man, we're gonna coach you like you're going to college. You know what I mean? That's how we're gonna coach you. But if this is your dream to be the best great high school basketball player you can be, then you do that.
Hmm.
But long story short, this kid got multiple offers, and now this kid is playing college ball right now. So at the end of the day, I've never always I let every kid know their opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
but not one time, including my daughter or including any other kids of the recruiting process that I was involved in, I ever swayed them. Not even me having a relationship with college coaches. It's still not my job. I love my relationships. I love my college coaches' connections. I love my kids even more for them to be able to make the decision on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So me personally, no, I'm not a coach to sway any kid to make a decision. What I am telling you is to bet on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know for a fact my daughter did that. Especially with her going in the situation of that she had with her injury. Bet on yourself, but at the same token, put yourself in the best situation for your success. Whether it's Division One, whether it's JUCO, or is it D2, or is it D3, NAIA, whatever the case may be. But that's not my
Even
decision.
even if you're coming from a genuine place.
That's still not my decision, Ed.
Hmm.
I'm not making that decision for that
Well,
kid. You
I wouldn't
know,
say make the decision, but I guess just weigh out your options.
yeah.
Like help the kid weigh out their options,
You, I,
depending on the family dynamics.
we're here to support and see. And at the
Mhm.
same token, I know Coach MJ, you might want to chime in on this one too. We're here to support these kids, but at the same token, it's a fine line too because that kid has parents,
Mhm.
and I don't know what's going on in that household.
Right, right.
So at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is we ain't even talked about that. You're talking about the AAU coach and the high school coach, but we ain't even talking about the parents as well too. So there's
Mhm.
another party that's involved about that, that's talking about the decision for their kids' future.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like I said, that's just where I sit. I'm gonna shut up a little bit and probably let Coach MJ kind of chime in a little bit on that.
Well, I like what you're saying. I had a kid last year that she's playing right now at a D3 school outside of Austin, Texas. She tore her ACL a couple years ago. She could have gone maybe a division higher than D3, and she was so she committed early in November.
Mhm.
Spring comes and transfer portal happens. Coaches changes happen, and so I get some emails, calls from NAI coaches, D2 coaches asking about this kid. And I every time I get information or asked about the kid, I automatically go to him and say, "Hey, I got this email, I got this text. What do you
Mhm.
think?" And then at the end of the day, most of the time the kid's like, "I really like it. I visited this school. I like this coach. I'm gonna stick here." And
Mhm.
so I'm like, I support you, like Coach said, I support you, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you get to where you want to go specifically. But we're just got to give them the options and just let them know the certain situations that they could get in. And so I do think it's ultimately the kid's decision because at the end of the day, if they don't like the decision that we tell them to make, how are we gonna feel?
Hmm.
And they're there
Mhm.
for us at least a semester.
At least a
So.
semester. Yeah, I'm not wearing that on my chest. I'm not.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not wearing
And
that. So
most of the time when a kid goes and visits a school and talks to the coach, talks to the players that are there, likes the whatever they want to study, they're going to come back and be like, that's where I want to
yeah,
go. Nine times out
Mhm.
of 10, that's
yeah,
what most kids are going to do.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Got you. So Marcus, you said something that, I mean, it's another party. You got the family, the family dynamics. How do y'all balance that, as AAU coaches and high school coaches between the party? Because at the end of the day, the ultimate say so is if they have a good, strong family structure
Right.
is the family. So how do you weigh in on, I guess, giving the best advice you possibly can to the parent, when choosing AAU
Mhm.
teams, when choosing colleges.
Being realistic, of course. I mean, I think for the most part, we pretty much have a really decent relationship with our parents. But at the same token, we have a great enough relationship for us to be real. And we try to make sure that when looking for AAU teams, we're making sure we're looking for, AAU teams that, she can be successful in, not just, like I said, playing for a name or playing for a brand or trying to get on a circuit. I mean, if you can play at that level, we encourage that. But at the same token, we want to make sure that we're, trying to put kids in situations where they can be successful on the floor. Me personally, I mean, I don't really talk a lot about AAU to parents.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my kids are kind of already solidified into the spots. Or with my connections, like I said, with Ed over the past years, when he was, looking at my kids and recruiting my kids. And then, of course, you get kids that are playing elsewhere and, allowed an opportunity to play on another level. And so my job is to make sure that that kid and that parent knows.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hey, this kid has this opportunity to play. And the parent may ask me, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'm gonna tell them exactly what I think without, bashing. This is what I know. You know what I mean? At the same token, this could be this could be a game changer, an opportunity for the kid, of a lifetime, especially in an area of Waco, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have, 3 EYBL kids in the last 2 years, right here in Waco, Texas, that speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a kid for an opportunity, and let me just not say EYBL because I got a 3 SSB kid right now, and I have two 3 SSB kids right now as well too. So I have 2 Adidas kids as well too. So when you have those opportunities, man, you want to make sure that they understand that they have them, but again, still make sure that's the best situation for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really just I let them make the decision, but also let them know whatever decision they have. I let them know their opportunities. Um, Other than that, that's pretty kind of how I let it go. I let the parents be the parents. At the end of the day, they still got to make the decision. It's still an investment. There's still time that they got to go in. So they still got to make that sole decision. It's just my job to still support, and let them know, whatever I may know.
Got you. And on the flip side, Ed, how do you go about trying to help the kid? Say, for instance, the high school team is not good, or they're not competing at the high level of the EYBL, but you have an EYBL kid on that type of high school program that doesn't really care about building a culture or winning. How do you tell that kid to kind of embrace that season or get through that season when it comes to the high school season when they get done with the AAU, and they're going back to a messed up situation? We keep it honest,
Yeah.
um, and
Man,
that makes it go backwards.
it really comes down to, again, them really understanding what they're preparing for.
Hmm.
Because when they get to a college campus, they're going to go play a role. You're not going to be that starter. You're not going to be the best player. Everybody on that college team was once the best player wherever they came from, right? So eh, when it comes to Inga, you use KP for an example. Like, again, she was under Marcus for what, prior to
Hmm.
4 years, right?
Hmm.
How long you been coaching KP? And
Since third grade.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So when you have kids like that, it's you you got a she already won a state championship. Now you're on a different mission. One, you're preparing to go to college. Two, you got to lead a young team. You and Mimi, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They are the leaders on the team. Fast forward to this, I hadn't fully watched La Vega all the way, except for that one showcase. But again, Marcus, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, that's the leadership. That's leadership that he's missing, or that he don't got no more. That, again, it definitely reflected into this year's team. Some of those kids, you know, trusted the leadership of KP and Mimi,
Mm-hmm.
and that trickled down to these kids this year,
Mm-hmm.
so they know how to lead the way. So again, when it comes down to these kids last years, whether they're coming from a good team or a bad team, it's you got to get through this season because you still got to go show well. It's
Hmm.
you do got the scholarship, and if you haven't committed yet, that can go away really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. You
You
said
know,
something right there. You
Mm-hmm.
said something right
on
there.
how
Mm-hmm.
one about
Said something
here.
right there.
We
Yeah,
just spoke on that. I literally just spoke on that today in practice.
You,
Literally just said
you
that.
said something right there. What you said it can be taken away.
quick,
Mm-hmm.
quick. Again, I'm coming to
Mm-hmm.
watch. You can't think that AAU saved you. It
Mm-hmm.
can't. AAU
Mm-hmm.
can't save you.
Mm-hmm.
You got a whole entire season left. Unless
Mm-hmm.
I'm committed, I'm graduating early, and I got a whole plan for me to get to that campus. But
Yeah.
if not,
Mm.
it's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I swear that was the end of our. I mean, it wasn't, and it wasn't. I mean, we had a decent practice today. I mean, I would have loved to have been better, coming into this tournament. But, I was telling them, I mean, we've never won a beautiful classic. This is my third time going to it. We've never won it. And I was like, man, it's our job to win it this year, to win 5 games, you know. So what are you willing to do to sacrifice to win 5 games for your team? What are you willing to do to sacrifice to fight for March, to be the last one standing? And
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, we was talking about that. I mean, I got kids in my circle right now that has opportunities, has several opportunities. One of them's committed, but even though, you know, when you committed, you still not safe.
Yeah.
Like you have to perform. And I was speaking to my committed kid. I was speaking to my kid that have several offers. Offers are just offers. They're just opportunities until you sign the dotted line. And even when you sign the dotted line, you're still not safe. So your job is to get in and perform. Don't start taking that relaxed seat. Don't take the seat back. And yeah, we do need some leaders. You know, I'm looking for some different type of leaders, man. I gotta understand what we lost, bro. We lost a bulk of leadership. We lost a bulk of scoring. I mean, KP and Mimi is an easy walking 40 points a
Mm-hmm.
night. So, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we have great culture kids. We have great kids that can fill up in that role. So I think we're getting to the point where we can be there. It's going to take us some time, but yes, you have to perform even when you're committed, even when you're owed up. Your job is to still perform because I tell my kids all the time, you never know who's watching you.
That's a fact. That's a
Mhm.
fact.
And we had some watching us on Saturday, and I can't say what I want to say, but
Mm-hmm.
we performed. I mean, we won, but I feel like we lost. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt like we played. You know what I mean? And I think, granted, the fact it was my fault, I think I put us in a situation that I probably shouldn't have scrimmaged Dallas Lincoln on Thursday night prior to opening up on Saturday. It was probably my fault because we looked like we were dead in the water. So I take that on me. But you know, at the end of the day, like I said, it's your job to strap up and perform and play hard for 32 minutes, and that's what I expect, regardless of the situation.
Got you. MJ, you got a take on this?
I don't even know what the question was, but I just like the transparency that they're both are talking about from both
Mm-hmm.
aspects. And I just think that's key transparency with the players, parents, everything, coaches, college coaches, especially.
Got you. Um, it says what are y'all takes on kids not taking high school serious compared to AAU due to kids expecting more out of AAU?
I mean, in my program, you're wasting your time because I mean, because I put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like I put in the work. Then at the end of the day, what did I just say? You never know who's watching you. So if you're on there on relax mode and doing what you want to do, then those opportunities come when they coming in the gym and you're not performing. At the end of the day, like I said, you can lose what you got. So I'm done right there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get off that topic because I'll go on for days. So
I,
I'm
I
done.
Uh,
I'm with you on that. How you do anything is how you do everything. And then once you
Hmm.
start taking drills off, a day off, you create those bad habits, and it's just a snowball effect. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
be play D1, play at that high level, I mean,
Yes.
it's got to be every day. You've got to dominate and
Yes.
compete
Yes.
every single day,
Every single
regardless of
day.
your teammates, regardless of what gym you're in. That's what it's got to be like.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
It irks me to see kids that just underperform or just don't work hard or don't take every rep. Like I get on my kids all the time, bro. Every rep matters. Every choice
mhm.
you make matters for us to be successful for this third year, third opportunity. Like it matters. So
Hmm.
especially when kids that are going Division 1, I need you to be a Division 1 kid every day. I don't need you to be a Division 1 kid the day that you feel like you want to wake up and be a Division 1
Hmm.
kid. No,
Hmm.
I need you to be that kid every day. You stand on it. Because I stand on mine. So I need you to
Right.
stand on yours.
I like that.
yeah, and if for from an AAU perspective, I would say, man, it for me, if that kid is not dominating the right way, and they don't have to equate to points, it's checking the boxes in other categories. And again, being a good teammate, like you said, dominating practice. If I'm coming to watch you at your high school game and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you ain't gonna be on my team. Because
Hmm.
again, going to Marcus's kids, I know what I'm getting. Kids is gonna play hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're winners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I need
Mm-hmm.
winners on my team. So again, you can't take high school basketball off and expect to come,
Yeah.
showcasing, I'm just, we're just gonna roll the ball out and let you play in AAU. It don't work like that.
And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best player on the team. I don't care if you're the worst player on the team. I'm going to hold you at my standards, my expectations. And I don't drop them because you're a stud. I don't drop them because you're a walking double double. I don't drop that. Matter of fact, I hold you at a higher expectation. It is what it is. And y'all can ask KP. Y'all can ask
Hmm.
me. I hold those kids at a higher standard. So at the end of the day, if you're the one, then you are the one. and I'm gonna treat you just like the one. You
Gotcha.
cannot have a bad day. You know what I mean?
So
So
when it comes to I mean, got to, I mean, I know Marcus, you talk to college coaches, as a high school coach, MJ, y'all talk to high school coaches. When it comes to talking to high school coaches, I really want to like kind of get this like in the air. Like, is it both of y'all jobs to talk to the high school coaches for this kid if you feel like the kid has the opportunity to play at the next level, or is it one more job than the other? Because I mean, I'm talking from a parent perspective. Let's say the parent plays for Marcus. Marcus is going crazy with the coaches, but then she goes and plays summer ball, and she plays with a coach that not necessarily is working hard. Um, I guess for the college coaches, she's just kind of be playing just to be playing. So, do you feel like it's more weight on it for such and such, or just kind of depends on the situation, to talk to the college coaches for the kids?
I think for me, I think they both kind of touched. MJ touched on it and Mark. It comes down to them doing that research on the program. I'm not sending my kid. Me, if I'm a parent, I'm not sending my kid to a program where I don't see the result. Result meaning, the turnover in kids going to college. I'm not just finna go play for. Again, there's no disrespect to no other program or anything like that.
Hmm.
Because again, some coaches and parents have to understand too that just because I've been with one program, since third grade, doesn't mean that that's best for my kid if I want the kid and the kid wants to get to the next level with them playing with them, when they become juniors or seniors. It's not okay because again, you've been with that program that long and nothing has happened. That's on you,
Hmm.
not the high school coach or the AAU coach. You're not doing your research, and then two, getting away from that, if I got a kid, Marcus got a kid, just because Marcus's kid is getting or KP's kid is getting offers and our kids grew up together, I feel that my kid should too. That's not okay because those kids are going through a different process. They're three totally different kids, and just because we're close family friends, you can't force or put that on a AAU coach or a high school coach. But again, I don't think one is different from the other. It's just again having that connection and communication between high school and AAU coach when it comes to talking to college coaches.
Gotcha. So,
I
do
think
you think? Go ahead.
you got. I think MJ said that earlier. Hey coach, I got kid X, Y, and Z, and she's getting recruited by this school or this school. I got to let her know that just so
Yeah.
again she can do her part and reach out for those coaches to come out for the fall showcases.
Do you feel like it's your responsibility to do that, or do you don't have to do that to let MJ know, hey, I'm talking to this coach for them?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's definitely my responsibility
Got you. Um, High school
because
coaches, you got anything?
if anything, I don't want to undermine what she's doing at that high school for the kid. If she don't know what's going on or what that kid just did during the spring or summer, then shame on me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, and then to go off of that, and then when they come to me in the fall, especially if they're seniors or juniors, it's okay. It's like, okay, now, because my assistant does like our recruiting stuff for us. So I'm like, okay, this kid is getting recruited by this school. What can you do? What's the SAT score that they have to get? What's the requirements that they need to do? Can they take a visit? All of that stuff. And I think the connection between the AAU coaches and unless you're been around for years and have those relationships with the college coaches as a high school coach, the AAU coaches see those college coaches a lot more than some of those high school coaches. And so there's that direct line.
Ooh, you think
Uh,
so?
I do. I've seen it, and maybe not for everybody, but the AAU coaches I'm around,
Hmm.
they have a lot of connections, a lot of contacts, and so they can get that from the AAU coaches, or I'm sorry, from the college coaches over the summer, and then
Hmm.
share that, like he said, with the high school coaches, and so they can work together to get these kids where they need to be. And then on the flip side, when a high or a college coach is trying to ask an AAU or a high school coach about a certain kid, I think the transparency needs to be there, because I'm not going to send a kid or try and get her recruited to a D1 school when she's not capable of playing at that level, because that's my word, and a college coach won't come back to me if I send a kid to a D1 school and she doesn't perform the way I'm telling that high school or that college coach that she's supposed to be performing. Does that make sense?
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't agree with how AAU coaches seeing the kids more than the high school coach. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no.
I think the high,
Okay.
I think the high school coach see the
That's
kids.
just me personally,
Yeah,
just because of the school that I'm at, and that's what I'm saying. Like
gotcha,
high school coaches that have been there for years, I'm sure that they have all those contacts. I just don't have that where I'm at right now.
gotcha. Understood. Yeah. Um, y'all got any more advice for the parents out here, kids out here, um, in this space of AAU coaches and high school coaches coming together, bridging that gap of what it should look like, the process, anyways.
I mean, always be realistic, be loyal to your kid. Try to put your kid in the best situation to be successful. Don't make it easy on them, challenge them, of course. You know, I think the bigger, the best, the more we build relationships, the more we communicate, I think the better this thing will be off. I'm not so sure. Like I said, I don't really have a lot of issues. So, because I've been on
Mm-hmm.
both sides. So, and I value and I appreciate both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just to the parents, man, just, be realistic with your child's talent, support them, invest into them. You know what I mean? Ask questions, be involved, because you're going to need to do that, you know what I mean? Of course, when they get to the next level, or when they make the decision to get to the next level. So, whether you're looking for an AU, team or program, you're looking for your next college, or your opportunity, be involved with your child, invest into your child, and be realistic, build relationships.
Gotcha. Anybody else?
And
Good.
MJ, you got,
I'm good.
Good. Ed?
and you said, say that question one more time for me.
Just any questions, I mean, any advice basically that you can kind of leave just on bridging the gap on what it looks like as far as like high school coaches, AAU coaches, what that relationship should look like when parents are dealing with their kid between these AAU coaches and high school coaches in the process.
Just be open to having that conversation, in all three ways. And again, I believe it's you don't have to, if you don't have a kid in it. If I didn't have a kid at La Vega, I can't speak on, La Vega and what they're doing, or just hear it from the parent and the kid. If they're saying, coach is doing X, Y, and Z, I can't go back to them. Y'all need to get out of there without having conversation with Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Again, try to hear it from him. So then I can take that in, take, his side and their side, and then go back to them and kind of talk to them about it. Like, again, it comes down to these kids performing. The parents have to let these kids go at some point. When it comes to junior year and varsity basketball, if you want your child to play high level basketball, when that kid hit that campus, you can't go to campus and say, oh, why my kid ain't playing. Your kid will be out there. So at some point, I'm gonna have to trust and do my research on programs or schools that I'm trying to send my kid to, and not just doing it because, again, a family friend is doing it or my child's best friend is doing it. That's not the way to go, because again, what's good for your kid, it's only good for your kid, not everybody else. Because when they sign that paper, they're signing for themselves, not them and their best friend.
Can I
Gotcha.
ask you a question on that,
Who,
Mm-hmm.
Mary or Ed?
Ed?
Go ahead.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you, is and I like that you take that responsibility, but what role does parents have then in addition to what you're doing for the kid?
What role do they have as far as what, talking to high school
No,
coaches?
no, no. To get them recruited.
Um, the role that they have is investing in it. Again, using Ed, he's been with me for the last 3 years. Again, we came up with a budget that's best for him to come or a package that he can put together for my team and these kids. Now, again, it goes down going back to performance based. It will do an individual highlight, a team highlight, and he will cover all games that played. So again, if your kid is not performing, that's on your kid. That's not. But again, I'm sorry. Let me go back. That's them investing into that. That's their role, investing in their kid to help push their kid. Like again, going back to Marcus, everything that we share on Twitter, he's sharing too.
Yeah.
That's the connection between myself and the high school coach, pushing our kid together. But again, the parents' responsibility is to invest in the videographers to help us again promote their kid.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. You did say one thing before we get over here. You said the parents have to learn um to let go. At what point were you kind of talking about letting the kid go? Like before they get out to college, right? You like it's a point in the process. Is that what you were saying, or you were
Oh yeah,
saying like,
for sure. You at what point do you trust the investment of getting my kid training, going to all these AAU tournaments and everything? At what point do you trust the work and the investment that you put into your kid?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching La Vega. If my kid is in the you know sixth grade right now, and we've been working on our game. She's learning the game, whatever it is. I'm watching LaVega's basketball game. I'm seeing how he goes about KP or Mimi or Angela, whoever these kids are, and them winning state championships and how he coached. Listening to what he's saying, I know I'm going to prepare my kid as best as possible when she hit that freshman year. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
listen to everybody just because my kid is in the eighth grade playing up 16U thinking that she's better than what she's due, because again she's going to run somebody that
Mm-hmm.
show that she's not ready. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm going to allow my kids to go through her process
Mm-hmm.
and trust
Mm-hmm.
Marcus in the work that he's already done.
Mm-hmm.
Or KP. You know what I mean? I'm looking at winning coaches. So again, I'm gonna put my kid in that environment, and I got to let them grow. They
Yeah.
either gonna sink or swim. Sink or swim.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stay attached. If I gotta vouch for my kid every step of the way, my kid ain't ready to go.
Your kid ain't ready to go. Yeah.
mm,
No, that's good stuff. I got to piggyback off of that one
go
too,
ahead.
because I mean, I'm a parent and a coaching perspective too, because as a parent, like I coached Mimi. Of course, I had to stop coaching her when a lot of these kids when I went over to the high school side, but it was a time, even with my boys, that I knew me personally as a parent, I gotta stop coaching that kid. I gotta stop coaching my own kid. I gotta give my kid to somebody else. I gotta trust them to continue to develop because I had taken my kid just so far. So it had to be me trusting, and I'm talking about the AAU scene. I had to trust other coaches to coach my kid in the summer. But at the same token, when they get to varsity, man, you gotta let off. You know what I mean? As a parent, your job is like you said, like Ed said. I'm putting my kid. I'm doing my best to put my kid in a situation where I don't have to worry about that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just putting my kid with any coach. I'm gonna make sure that the program is culture driven. The program supports kids to be able to go to the next level. The program supports kids to be student athletes. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed to have all of my kids to be able to take college classes while they're in high school. So I'm looking for things like that as a parent. So I gotta let go once that kid reaches varsity because, like Ed said, when that kid hits that collegiate campus, you can't go question. Like I'm not gonna call Coach Brock and ask him why he not playing my kid. That ain't that. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So you gotta let your kid go. You gotta let your kid grow. But at the same token, your job is to. I'm a dad. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So from a coaching perspective, so that's the parent side of it. From a coaching perspective, you know, if you trust me. Let me
Mm-hmm.
rock. You know what I mean? Let me rock. So let your kid go. I got your kid. You know what I mean? So I genuinely do. So I'm gonna make sure for sure that I treat all my kids like they're my daughters anyway. So I treat them like they're Mimi's. Hell, I treat them like they keep KP because she was my daughter pretty much too. So, or she is my daughter. I'm sorry, pretty much too. So I treat my kids like I treat my kids. I'm you know they're not with me playing high school ball no more. They're gone. So it's kind of I get my words messed up. But no, I treat these kids like they're my own. So I'm gonna do what I can to make them successful. So yeah, I think once they get to the varsity level, I think it's time for the parents to kind of let it go.
Now, what if I keep saying we was about to end, but like I keep getting, you keep saying stuff, and I keep thinking of something else. What if that kid, um, just doesn't have that culture or structure around them, but that kid has the potential to play at that next level? How do you go about um, guiding that kid in either high school or AAU fashion? Like, let's say for instance, they can't play on the EYBL team, or they can't get on 3SSB team just because of the nature of talent around Texas. Spots are full, you know what I'm saying? And they get left with a independent team that really don't get no looks, or they got to go back to a high school team. Like, how do you go about like help guiding that kid in that process? What does that look like?
I don't know if this is going to answer your question, but I think if a kid is good enough, they will be found.
It depends, because I don't know about that one.
It
I feel like
depends on.
I feel
Well,
like
it's harder now. It's harder now to get found now.
You think it's harder now?
Yeah, to get found. I think it's. I don't. I just. That's gonna be tough because I did a podcast with Ashley and I think I said the same thing. And once I said it, I had to retract my statement. No, you got to do some work. You got to do some work.
I
Well,
Um,
I agree.
yeah.
There has to be some work behind it, but if a
Mhm.
kid has talent, it's it's going to get out there and somebody's going to find it. But it has to get out there first.
Yeah, and I would credit again. Not only you. There's a couple guys. You and Chosen, Lefty, Mike, and a couple other outlets to where y'all at these tournaments covering these kids in gyms because this
Hmm.
is play for some scrappy little independent teams. Where I'm like, who is this kid?
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
again, who's this pop up? I'm gonna look at that kid.
Mhm.
So, but that's a connection though. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying? So you
Mhm.
yeah,
gotta have some
Mhm.
connection. You gotta have
Yeah,
some type of relationships
that's
for
true.
that kid to be able to get there. It's gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be hard for kids to make it if you don't have relationships or connections.
yeah,
Especially if they're under the radar.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. That's my last question. That's my last question. That's the last question. But now I appreciate everybody on here. Somebody wanted me to ask Marcus and MJ, what's y'all motto for the school year? What's y'all
uh,
basketball motto
With our
for the
team?
school year?
three
Yeah, yeah, for your
three
team.
P, and we ain't deviating from the plan. We're gonna remake history.
I'm on the other side. We just graduated about 90% of our shooting. And so our hashtag this year is it matters more, which the I and the T are capitalized, and it's intensity and toughness because I
Mm,
got four freshmen on varsity. Backup point guard now is my number one, and one returning starter. So we're kind of rebuilding and working on that toughness and intensity.
got you, got you. Let me see. That's it. That's it. No more questions. Appreciate y'all for taking the time out. I know y'all help some parents out, help some other coaches out, just to kind of build that relationship um, between each other. Of course, it's not going to fix everything, but I think we got to start somewhere um, in that process between high school coaches and AAU coaches. Because at the end of the day, if the objective is to get the kid to the next level, there has to be a fine line of like, I respect you, I ain't gotta like you, but at the end of the day, like we trying to get this kid to the next level. Like it should be some type of communication, whether it's male, female, head coach, assistant coach. I feel like there needs to be a fine line to help these kids get to the next level, and just a respect level on like times for the kids. Like I feel like fall time is for the high school, springtime is for the AAU programs. Like I feel like there should be a respect boundary. There shouldn't be no disrespect in any regard because like I can't come to your building and be like, yo, this is how you gonna run stuff. Like I just think there's like gotta be a mutual respect between the high school coach and the AAU coach at the end of the day. I just feel like they did that we too old to be bickering about
Mm,
like, oh, let me get this kid, like I'm gonna take this
mm,
kid, like
Yeah.
so yeah. And
And
the kid just want to hoop. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's the crazy part. Like the kid don't care
mm,
nothing about what y'all bickering about. They
yeah,
just want to get on the court and play.
yeah.
So I feel like there needs to be a balance to where these kids is really just being able to focus and these parents can really just guide their kid in the right area. So appreciate y'all.
Get out the way. Let these kids be kids, man.
Yep.
Ed, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having me on. I feel like it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Because I'm just a nobody, man. So I appreciate you, my guy.
You was
Um,
somebody. You on the platform. You was somebody.
Coach MJ, good luck to you in your
you as
season. We wishing you
well.
well and wishing the best. My guy, Ed, good to always see you, man. Good to catch up. Wishing you well too, as well, too, my guy.
Appreciate it. Same to you all. Good luck, MJ.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
You
Looking forward
too.
to seeing you out in the field. But again, Marcus, I'm gonna be on your line soon.
You already know what time it is, man. I love here, man. I appreciate it,
Know it.
man.
Appreciate you,
Yes,
bro. Appreciate you
Marcus,
having
sir.
I'll
me on.
see you at the Allen tournament.
We'll be there with bells and whistles.
Yep.
Yeah, I got 2 back to back. So you're at the Allen tournament next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
God somebody. So, oh man, I always do this to myself. I'm finna finish watching Pflugerville and watch a little bit of Harlan, and I ain't even packed yet. So here I am. So yeah,
I will
we'll be
see
next
you
this week.
tomorrow, then, my boy.
Where are you at the bottom bracket? Are you bottom, NJ? Will we meet potentially?
No, we're at the bottom. We play Monterey first, so
Oh,
Ooh.
you picked the Leah Chavez,
I don't know
huh? She got
what I
you,
did
huh?
to get
Yeta,
that.
yeta, yeta.
Tell Stephanie she wrong for that one, ain't she, huh?
Yep.
Oh man, I
So
don't even know. I can't even think that far ahead. I don't know who we. I think we open up with Plano. I think it's
I
Plano, possibly. I
yeah,
think
you're at the top. I don't know
I'm
who
at the
you.
top. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know I'm at the top. I can tell you that. I just line them up and let's go. So
Mhm.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I will see you. I
Yep.
will see you at the Allen tournament. So hopefully we get a chance to connect a little bit.
Yep. Sounds
All right,
good.
sounds like a plan.
All right,
Thank you,
All right,
y'all.
all
guys.
right. Take it
All
easy.
right, now.
All right,
Yes,
bet.
sir.